Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Good morning, Jobfather Nation. We are so excited for you to be here today. Yet again, we have another jam-packed show. And just a reminder, NTX Radio is a podcast and radio collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on the TuneIn Radio app or on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We definitely want to thank our valued partners for helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Be sure to connect with Todd Hurd & Associates, attorney at law, for your civil needs, and that is texasattorneylaw.com. Well, before we jump into our dad joke and any updates in the exciting first half of our show, let's bow our head for a quick word of prayer, shall we, Foster?
Let's do it.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the privilege and the honor to be here this wonderful Friday. And I just pray, Lord God, that you would use us to share valuable knowledge on just the job search, job transitioning, and helping people that want to reach and achieve their goals and dreams. Open doors of opportunity for them. And just thank you for this opportunity and privilege to serve you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Foster, so exciting. Real quick, I just want to thank Mez. She is our backbone. We wouldn't be able to do it without her.
That's right.
Behind the scenes, just getting things done, keeping things running, and keeping us on task, right, Foster?
That's right. Yeah, she does keep us lined up. It's pretty cool. I need lining up. Oh, I see Nikki Duncan's with us. Hey, Nikki and Jim Williams, my brother from another mother. And oh my God, there's Polly Edwards out in California. So I always like to give you guys a shout out for joining us. And there are millions of other people. Well, I'm saying millions, but there are thousands of other people that are probably listening. And you know what? If you guys are on the YouTube link, chime in. Let us hear you. Let us hear from you. Let us know you're there. All right. So Dana, thanks for that prayer.
Yeah.
And here we are. I'm wearing my gear, hook 'em horns, even
Let's
though
go.
David Williams called me last night and said the number 11 ranked Arkansas Razorbacks kicked y'all's butt all over the place in baseball. And so I guess we won't be number 1 anymore. So thanks, David G. Man, I know you're out there listening. I told you I was going to give you a shout out for that. I'm telling you. Okay, so real quick, we've got a wonderful show today. We're going to talk about wonderful services, guys, that are in the network and people that are involved in these services. And before we get there, I always try to make you guys laugh with a dad joke. So let me see, Greg, you'll have to be my my referee for this dad joke, man.
Oh boy.
Okay, so a guy was going to propose to his girlfriend, but his dog ate the ring.
Sorry.
Now it's a diamond in the rough.
I'm sorry. That one's a good one. Oh my gosh. Diamond in the rough.
Okay. So that mess is wow, Foster, really?
No, I like that one. That's good.
You know, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
I thought we were going to talk about something about having to dig for that ring through its poop. And that was making me laugh.
No poop jokes today. So, guys, I am still looking for a controller. If you guys, if you are a controller, here's the key. This is an operational type controller. Really, it's more of a CMA type of role. This company just moved to Dallas. It was purchased by a $500 million venture capital company, and they want to 10x what the company that they bought were doing. And now they're right back here in Dallas, where their CEO came from, because I was helping him in his job search in the very beginning. Anyway, so he says, Foster, I need a controller. This controller needs to know QuickBooks, because they are transitioning from QuickBooks to a bigger platform. I don't know, maybe NetSuite or whatever they're going to. But that's what's going to be important. This is an operational controller, guys, not your straight down the line. They need somebody. The perfect fit for these people is a person that can handle priority changes overnight, kind of thing. So if you've been in operations before, I need to talk to you. I am at 214-728-6930, or find me on LinkedIn. You'll see all of this contact information on my LinkedIn profile, even if you are not connected with me on LinkedIn. So my email address is foster.williams@sbcglobal.net. 214 728-6930 if you want to talk about it. I'll talk about it.
Woo,
I talk too
ladies,
much anyway.
Foster. Yeah,
So,
Foster's an eligible bachelor. Now you got his
oh
phone
man,
number and email address.
my God,
Woohoo!
I've been eligible ever since 2007. Nobody interested in that.
Stop
Ain't nobody got time for that.
it.
Thanks, Maz, for
Oh.
putting that information out there. So, Dana, do you have any priority jobs?
Actually, we are hiring a staff accountant at
Okay.
Beacon
Oh,
Oral Specialist, but this is an extremely entry level role because we really it's going to be very entry level tasks. But it is a great opportunity with Beacon Oral Specialist. We're looking for someone maybe 1, 2, probably no more than 3 years of experience. So keep that in mind because it is a very entry level type task. So for those individuals that have more experience in that, they probably get a little bit bored. Again, because they've got a better wealth of experience. But we are hiring for that. We also have 2 billing specialist roles within our RCM team. And all of these positions are at our Dallas office. The accounting role will eventually be a little more hybrid after the first 90 days of training. The billing specialist roles are always in office Monday through Friday, and those roles do specifically require either dental, healthcare billing experience, or healthcare billing experience because the type of work that this person will be doing, they wouldn't be able to come in and adjust and quickly hit the ground running if they didn't have that experience. So we are a oral surgery company. Well, no, I'm sorry. We are. We acquire oral surgery companies throughout the United States. So the individuals must have either dental billing experience and revenue cycle management or healthcare type
okay.
billing or revenue cycle experience. So we have those 3 exciting roles right now at corporate.
That's cool. So beaconoralspecialist.com
Yep,
is you
that's it.
guys' website, and Mez has
Mhm.
put it in the chat, guys.
Thanks,
So you
Mez.
won't miss it. But Mez is real good. She gets
I
that
know.
stuff
I'm
out
so
there real
impressed y'all
quick.
remember that. That's great.
We want to shout out to J Hop. There is Jason Hopper, guys.
J-Hop.
Is over at Jewish Family Services, jfsdallas.org. You do not have to be Jewish, guys, to get
Mm-mm.
assistance over there. They've got wonderful. Check them out. They've got
Yeah.
things all over the place to help job seekers, especially but we're going through a lot of stress and stuff right now. There's been ups and downs in the job search. We're still doing good. It looks like,
Yeah. It's
and Dana
picking
and I
up.
were talking earlier, and
Mhm.
the job search seems like it is opening up again. So I am excited
Mhm.
about that.
Yep.
Yolanda Chin, hello. Gerard Roble is with us. Hello, hello. Keep sharing.
Aw. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Gerard.
Keep sharing stuff keep sharing stuff with there. Yay! There's Lisa. Lisa joined
Ah,
us.
Lisa.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to introduce you to these wonderful people that joined us today, and I'm going to
Woo-hoo.
start with Greg since we boys are outnumbered. And Greg, tell us who Greg Morgan is. Real quick, guys. Greg, Nancy, and Lisa are part of our team at transitionmasters.org. You guys always hear me talking about Transition Masters. So it's true. So there are the people
Oh,
that make
we
the
talk about him all
transition
the time on this show.
all the time. Dana's even been a part of Transition
Oh
Masters.
yeah, y'all. Just Foster, not to interrupt, but I do want to say that we have show after show discussed how valuable and incredible this group is. About almost 2 years ago,
Yep.
I found
Yep.
myself in a layoff situation, and yes, the
Yep.
market has gotten better since then. But I, even as a recruiter and a talent acquisition leader, who also I have a side hustle where I do resumes and interview coaching and all of this. I still learned some great things from this group.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's a free service to help you through your job search. A great community of people, encouragement, and really honest feedback. So I
Honest.
without further ado, I am so excited we have this team here today.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, his last name is Morgan, you guys. Morgan. My best friend's dad's name was Morgan. Wasn't it was James Morgan, but there you have it, Greg. I never even told you that. So, Greg, tell us a little bit about you. You are a coach there at our Transition Masters service. Tell us a little bit about Greg.
I will. And my father's name was James Morgan, just so you know.
No.
Heck yeah.
What?
So,
Oh man.
I've been involved with Transition Masters for about 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
A guy named Joe Jones,
Right.
a tremendous human being named Joe Jones, started it, and initially started for just a couple of small groups, and then became he found that different churches did not have enough job search help, and so he ended up, I don't remember the number of the community of churches that he ended up being involved with, but like 100 different churches that he ended up being involved with. And it's a great program. It's a 10-week program, a different module every week. And the first hour, did I say anything about myself yet? Sorry about that.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. More important stuff, man.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I will do it quickly. My name is Greg Morgan. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I live in Tampa, Florida.
Oh,
I've
I love Florida.
been in the real estate business all of my life, well, most of my life, and currently work for a company called Smith and Associates here in Tampa. But I also run a nonprofit called Career Rebound, which is deeply rooted in helping people find work as well, primarily in the Tampa Bay area. So we meet live, and it's typically involved with that. And a guy named Joe Jones showed up at that meeting one day and talked about Transition Masters. I thought he was trying to sell us something, but it's a free program. It's an incredibly good program. The first hour of every Monday night, it starts June 2nd, I think, the next 10-week program, but it's the first hour of every meeting is one-on-one or one-on-two interviewing, and practicing interviewing. And that to me is the most powerful part of the program. And there's a few coaches, 3 of which are on this call right now with me, that help with the interviewing process. And it's what I find the participants get the most out of, week in and week out. And that's what they claim they get the most out of as well, because it's practicing being the best you can be, either on a Zoom call like this or on in a live interview. So it's been a tremendous experience for me, and I'm sure for all of the coaches. And Foster loves seeing you there when you show up. You're very good at it naturally.
Well, thanks, Greg. Thanks a lot for that. It's important that we understand how to explain to people when we're in a networking environment, and especially, guys, if we're on an interview with a company, we need to explain to that company what it is that we do and why we are a good fit for that opportunity. And we get a chance to practice that at Transition Masters every Monday here in Texas. It starts at 4:30 out on the East Coast.
Yeah.
At Greg time, Lisa time, Nancy time, it is 5:30. So thanks, Greg. And let's go over and let's hear from Lisa Berg, Berg. Lisa is real cool. She's an HR person, guys. She is an excellent coach, and she likes good 80s retro rock music.
Oh my gosh, I love good 80s. Wait, time out. You Poison fan?
Yeah, somewhat. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you, absolutely.
Sorry it took me so long to get on. I'm technically challenged.
No, don't worry about that. That's
Lisa
funny.
and I like 80s new wave, what we used to call new wave music.
Oh yeah,
Now they call it vintage music.
Oh gosh, it makes
we're
me
vintage
so mad
now, huh,
when they
Lisa?
say that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
my
don't get me
22-year-old
feisty.
daughter calls me vintage.
Oh, you tell her
wow.
she's just
Lisa, you don't look
she's
vintage,
just
girl.
wanting
You
to
look-
be as
you're
cool
right
as
in
you.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us
So
a little
I
bit
am
more about
actually-
Lisa. Yeah.
I'm a proud graduate of Transformative Masters in 2019 when I lost my job, but I got 75% of my workforce jobs when our plant was closed. And yes, I'm in human resources. And yes, I have over 20 years of experience. However, I didn't interview for about 12 years because I was with that company for 12 years. So I knew a lot had changed. And I didn't even know where to go to, not to mention I was kind of in shock because I didn't have a job. So I did this transition master's course, and Joe is very particular that you must go to every single course, a single week. At that time, it was 12 weeks long, not 10 weeks. And it was very valuable because back then, it was before COVID and everything. So we were doing in-person interviews, and I just needed a refresher course. Even though I was the interviewer for many years, haven't been on the interview side for a long time. So it was very valuable. So the mock interviewing was probably the best part of it. The mock interviewing is great because you have your peers and you also have a coach. So you have 3 or 4 peers and then a coach, depending on the attendance. And you're getting some amazing feedback. Feedback that you wouldn't normally get from a book or a class or a webinar, because it's all interactive. And I just thought it was extremely valuable because you don't see yourself of what you are unless somebody else is telling you. So let's say you're having a bad day as a job seeker. It's a great way to reaffirm that your worth in the organization and also your worth in the community as a whole. So it's not only a educational experience, it's I'll call it like a spiritual experience and also a very emotional experience. It's confidential, which is great. We don't share anything. We don't record anything because it's a very safe place to be every week from 5:30 to 8. And that's my commercial. Oh, wait. Now I'm a coach. After 2019, when I graduated, or 2020 when I graduated, Joe Jones says, you're going to be a coach. So he volunteered me. And I'm like, I don't have the time, And because now I had a full-time job. I found a job through Transition Masters. Yay, me. And but that was back in 2019, 2020. And it was because I knew how to market myself. And I just knew that I wanted to volunteer and give back to the community, because I know during the job search, you can't afford a career search consultant, and you don't want to pay for one either.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive, and it helped me with resume writing. And he's got some great tips and tricks and tools, and he even sings. And that you'll find out that when you go there. But he's such a great, very special person for this program, like Greg said. And you'll actually establish relationships that you will still have. I coached somebody, and when I was unemployed again, that student actually referred me as a career coach for a contract position, and I immediately got it based on just what I knew from Transition Masters. So even if you're not in HR or anything like that, we're also looking for coaches. So if you know of any coaches, but I've been coaching since 2020. And I've been proud of it.
Absolutely. And we do, guys. You get a chance to meet, you get a chance to explain to people what it is that you do. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but that is an observation that I'm making. Some of us have so much corporate speak in our trying to be smart and stuff. People can't even understand what it is that we're doing. We're supposed to be there to teach them how to help us. So let's go to Nancy Wall. Nancy's been with us like 2, maybe even 3 times in the past. And we are really, really jumping up and down today because Nancy has landed a job. But here's the blessing. In Nancy's job, Nancy still is able to fit us into, and I say us, the network, into the things that she does to help other people. So she got a job. She's right there. She's working and she's helping you guys. So there. Nancy, tell us a little bit about you and the job and all this.
We love Nancy.
Thanks, everybody. And I love everybody. I mean, this is my passion, helping people. So any way I can do it, I am there to support the station, to support individuals who are looking for jobs, for those who have jobs. If you need help, just give me a call, reach out, email me. But I actually, since we're talking about Transition Masters, I actually took the program about a year ago and just loved everything about it. I love the way that they introduce new concepts and ways to put together your resume and mock interviews. And I had been with my previous company for 25 years. And so like Lisa, I had no idea how to interview and what this was all about. Jobs just kind of came to me and I kept getting promoted with the other company. And so a lot of people that I'm working with have the same experience, that they had been working for a company and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, find themselves not with that company and don't even know where to start. And things have changed so much over the years, even in the past 5 years, not only the market, but the ATS system and how to craft your resume and how to interview and market and sell yourself, as Lisa mentioned too. And so Transition Masters gave me, and I can give other people, that new knowledge about how to be effective as you're seeking a job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wanted to give back. So I became a coach and pestered Joe Jones. This
you're like, let me help.
And said, I want to help. I want to give back. You guys were so great to me. I want to give back. So I have been coaching sessions as well. And I'm also on the Career Rebound board, as Greg mentioned. So helping people in the Tampa Bay area and other places to be able to
tell us about Career
rebound back. When you're in transition, it's really hard. And so I'm very thrilled to be working with the program. And as was said before, these mock interviews are so critical because when you interview for a job, you don't get feedback because of their HR policies and other reasons.
I know. It's true. It's hard.
You can ask for feedback. You can ask for any advice so that you can learn more with your next one. But they don't have time. The recruiters don't have time. The hiring managers don't have time. So this is your opportunity to really practice interviewing and get feedback from the coaches, from other people in your mini breakout session. And, Career Rebound and Transition Masters have just been phenomenally helpful to me. And so I wanted to be a part of it as well. And so that's what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're just.
And you know what, guys? Mez, if you would put this in the chat, transitionmasters.org all together.
And you just have to email.
Transitionmasters.org.
They get back to you right away.
Yeah, and you guys will see that when you go to that website, you'll see it'll explain wonderfully what it is that we do there. And remember, guys, if you're on the East Coast, because we got a bunch of people listening to us, because I saw Kim Jones on there. Hey, Kim. And Lexi Dendronellis, I love saying her last name because I bet it's very few people that can pronounce that right, but I got it right the first time. Well, so guys, if you're on the East Coast, it is at 5:30. If you're in Texas,
it's at 4:30.
It is at 4:30, and then we'll go back to Mountain. It'll be 3:30, and then the West Coast time, you guys will be 2 hours behind.
They're 3 hours behind California on the West Coast, so. Yeah, but I was going to say, Foster, one thing I wanted that we brought up that we were just talking about with the feedback piece. Not only is it a time constraint for most organizations, but there's a lot of legal and compliance around what we can and can't say from interviews. Just because anything could be said and construed in the wrong way, and then lawsuits can entail. So you're going to find that organizations, especially mid to large size organizations, are very hesitant to give feedback because of the risk. So something like this organization is what everybody needs, regardless of how well you think you interview. Again, I get paid to coach people from time to time. It's a side hustle. I've been doing this almost 30 years as a talent acquisition in as recruiting and as a leader in talent acquisition.
You've been around a while.
20 something years. We'll leave it at that. And guess what?
Oh my God.
I still learned new things. Okay. You are never too experienced. You are never too anything to learn something new. And I got so much value out of this group, and it was free. So I was so excited, Foster, to hear that this team was on the show today. I mean, I just cannot tell you what an emotional support the group was as we were going through this time.
you can talk about it, guys. If you get out there and become a part of it, you can talk about something because you've been there, done that. I've got to announce, guys. Gerard Roble is always with us. He's a member of the team as well. He is there on Mondays, and that guy can connect you to the world, boy. I'm here to tell you. So we appreciate you, Gerard. We're gonna go to commercial here in a second. But you know what? What Dana said was very important because, guys, if you'll be surprised what you'll pick up when you get a chance to listen to other people and how they're going about, how they're being coached, how they're going about doing things. You can do things better. You can pick up things that you didn't even know about yourself.
True.
So I love Transition Masters for that. Yeah, it helped you. I got you involved when you were looking.
I was so thankful, Foster. Seriously, I'm excited to keep talking to the team. They are wonderful. I mean, when you have opportunities like this and it's so organized, go for it.
All right, here's the music. We're going to go to commercial, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about job search, y'all, from experts. Let's do it.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise
let me fix
and exactly
it.
what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Hello, Jobfather Nation. We are excited to be back with this lovely crew today. Just so everybody knows, we are really honored and excited to be a part of NTX Radio and work with Tiffany. If you are interested in having your own podcast or radio show, there's opportunity. Don't forget that. But I just wanted to remind everyone, because we are honored and privileged to be part of this team, that NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective, proudly serving all of North Texas that can be heard all over the world on TuneIn Radio and on the NTX Radio app. You can listen on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. And yes, I have to whisper it, because if not, then I'm going to have that going on in the background, and you know how that rolls. So anyway, just really honored and excited to be here. What an amazing first half. Foster, do you have another good dad joke for us before we hop into the second half?
before I pull into the dad joke, I want to welcome there's a big contingent of people in India. I just got a text. There's a big contingent of people in India that are listening to us right now.
That's
And I
awesome.
know you guys are way ahead of us in time. So we
Oh my
appreciate you guys
gosh.
being
Mwah.
there.
Thank you.
And Dana is right. Is no telling who's listening to us, because guys, remember, when you are on World Wide Web, that is what the WWW means, and it stands for
Yep.
World Wide Web.
Well, Foster never ceases to amaze me. I also had the privilege of working for a global company and developing relationships all over the world. And Foster has too. And he has so many people he knows outside of the United States that listen. So we just love being able to bless people everywhere, because some of these core principles, it doesn't matter. Like, for example, resumes are very different in Europe, but the core principles of interviewing and relating to people, it stays the same.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, is it dad
It's
joke time?
dad joke time.
Second part of the show, dad joke time. So one of my best buddies I talk about all the time, named David. Starting of the show, I shared a story with David. Let me know about my Longhorns going down. But we ain't going down. We're coming back. So David went to the airport, and they took his ID at the airport. And now we're just calling him Dave.
Wow, Foster, no. Just no. Go stand in the corner and think about what you just said.
This is why we love Mez.
Foster needs to go to timeout now.
Timeout.
I'm going to timeout, time in, whatever.
Foster, we love you.
I never do it right. But I like that one. And David, you ought to be chiming
He's
in
like,
on that.
yeah,
one.
they took my ID.
My ID. That's right.
It's too early. It took me a
Okay,
second.
so guys, here's something. Jim Williams gave me a 1.5. Come on, man. Your last name is Williams.
Jim just told you to go to the corner too.
I did, Jim. Go. Okay, I'm in the corner. So guys, check this out. So he probably says Mez isn't having it today. So this is an observation I brought up, but I want our coaches to chime in on this. One thing at Transition Masters that we do is teach people how to explain succinctly what it is that they do. So not only if you're in the networking environment, people can understand what it is you do and know who to connect you with, but if you're on that interview, you want to make it relevant to that particular job. And we want to do that succinctly, because a lot of times when we're getting interviewed, guys, these people don't have a half a day to talk to us. You know what I'm saying? So I have witnessed this, and it's hard to articulate, so I'm going to try. Some of us guys use this is easy to understand. I think when you're in IT, you'll throw out a bunch of acronyms that people, if you're not in IT, you don't know what those acronyms are and stuff like that. And we use corporate speak a lot of times. We want to sound very, hey, Amy Fleming. Sorry, guys, I get thrown off. But we speak in these big words, and we're trying to sound important. And when we get up from the networking situation, still nobody even knows what it is that we do. And so at Transition Masters, guys, we get a chance to help you hone in on what it is that you do and how to project that in when you're networking, or especially if you're in an interview. So anyway, Greg, what do you think about that? What are some of your observations? We got a whole 30 minutes to talk about our observations of jobs.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I really think you're right on, Foster, with that. I mean, so many people use the acronyms of their industry or of their specific specialty within an industry. And it's a big mistake, because even, first of all, someone who's interviewing you isn't necessarily a long-term employee of that organization.
That's right.
And in many cases is just there to interview to find out if you're going to fit in to the overall company as opposed to the specific need or specific job description. But the most important thing when asked that key question, which is almost always the first question, which is tell me a little bit about yourself, you need to tell them about how yourself fits into the job description. Understand the job description, understand what it's all about, and then answer the question, tell me about yourself, of how you can do that job within the organization. It really isn't tell me about yourself.
That's true.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm, I like baseball. It's not that. It truly is tell me how you can fit into the organization.
We were talking about that last week
and
too, and I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that up.
Very important. Mm-hmm.
Joe Jones is an expert, and I mean like a trophy-winning Toastmasters, hence the name Transition Masters. So the presentation skills has many levels, but one is not to talk about things that don't make sense to your audience, but to speak clearly, slowly, but with enthusiasm at the same time. And the ums and ahs and all of those obvious mistakes that we make have got to go away. But also talk about the job and how you fit into the organization, as opposed to tell me about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Toastmasters doesn't like the ums and ahs and all of that stuff. So
it's hard sometimes to get rid of the ums and ahs. I mean, it's a challenge, but this is the challenge that's why Toastmasters is valuable. Having someone to actually tell you, you said that 5 times. We can't say that when we're talking to people in a corporate environment.
That's for sure. And then Dana said it earlier, corporations are limited in what they're able to share with you guys during that interview. Now that makes sense. We've all been around. We understand why that is. Come on now. And so
if you're asked a question, the other important thing, I throw this out there. The other important thing is when you're asked a question and you don't understand what you've just been asked, don't try to answer that question without saying, let me clearly understand what you're stating, or repeating the question, because so many times, my favorite habit of the 7 habits of highly effective people is habit number 5, which is seek first to understand before you're understood. So truly understand what the question is all about before you answer the question. And they're not going to mind if you say, please clarify what you're talking about, or in what area are you talking about. Truly talk to the interviewer as a conversation, as opposed to being the recipient of all the questions. Ask questions back.
Absolutely. I didn't know that was number 5, but that's a good one. I was engaged a few years ago to a coach, a PhD coach, one of those PhDs like Dr. Nancy is over there. And so Jane would always say, seek first to understand, always start with that, as she was coaching her folks. And so that was number 5 in the book, huh?
I hope so.
Oh. So Nancy,
it's important.
You train people. You are a absolute professional trainer, developer, all these kind of things. What are some of the things that you're seeing folks do in the not necessarily, you might find something that you like that they're doing right. But what are you observing out there that you feel like you should tell job seekers?
A lot of people have such great, wonderful accomplishments, and it's understanding what those are, documenting them, but also being able to verbalize them so you can show the value that you're going to bring to the organization, the relevancy of what you've done and done successfully. So looking at that job description and making sure your accomplishments can fit into that job description, making sure they're pertinent. How are you going to be solving that company or that person's problems? How are you going to help them if you're hired? It's not about you. It's really about what you're going to do to be able to help them. So you have to share your accomplishments, share your experience in a very different way these days.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Matt.
So what if you have a really bad description of the job? I think everybody's come across this where it's a very vague description of the job. You think you're qualified, but you're not quite sure, but you still get an interview. So how do you approach that type of?
Nez, that's such a good question. There are so many.
May I answer that? Go ahead.
Just really quickly, there are so many job descriptions that are not well written. I don't know who they're written by, but it really doesn't give you the information you need.
Boy, isn't that the
You're
truth?
very, very lucky to get an interview on something you really don't understand. So one of the key questions that we actually share in Transition Masters as well is asking them, what brought us together today? What was it on my resume that caught your attention for this position. And so during that discussion, that will give you a lot more insight into the role, into the job, and help hopefully clarify. But also, this is an interview, a two-way interview, a two-way discussion. You want to find out from them if this is going to be a good fit for you as much as they're trying to figure out if you're a good fit for them.
Right.
So the more questions you ask, the deeper your conversation goes, the better you'll be able to have an understanding and see if this is even something you want and something that you're skilled at and how you can help.
And if I may, the obvious nowadays is the use of AI.
Oh yeah.
And if you if you under the chat GPTs, the perplexities, all of the programs out there, my son and I are in the real estate business. We use AI every day, all day long now. It's just become an employee. I mean, that's our employee, and you can't pretend that it's not there. And if there's a job description out there, load it up into AI, load your resume up into AI and say, how do I answer the question? Tell me about yourself. And trust me, the answer is there. And it'll also, if it's too long an answer, just say shorten it and be just as powerful. And that's exactly what AI will do for you. And we can't avoid it. It's the most powerful thing out there right now. And please use it at every chance you get. And if the job description's inaccurate, get into the company and tell AI to get into the company and find out what this job description's all about. And it will tell you things that you
Man,
cannot
I
believe.
appreciate you sharing that. I didn't know you could get into the company and figure that out.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. I
didn't
love
either.
that.
I never even thought
What
about that
AI do you
application.
use?
Guys, one AI is a tool.
Yes.
Make sure the guys that you're putting it in your language, because if it sounds like AI, I'm going to slide it off my desk into the waste paper basket.
Well, and that's the great thing about like ChatGPT. I pay the $20 a month or whatever it costs for me to have the higher version, and it knows me. And I say, that doesn't sound like me. Can you change the language a little bit? And guess what? It comes back sounding just like me.
Yes.
Because whatever program you use gets to know you. It's crazy.
It was funny when Foster said,
always check it out, guys. Always double check.
Always. Foster,
Okay,
when you were
that's good. I love
when you were
AI.
saying you were gonna take, if it doesn't sound like you're gonna like dump it into the wastebasket, I was like, along with that last joke.
Yes, Dana.
My jokes. I am a dad. I've been a dad for 30 some odd years. I'm not going to tell it, Hannah, in case you're listening. And I know you ladies don't like folks.
We love you, Foster.
Age, even though you're still a young.
Foster, I just want to add something. ChatGPT is great.
Please.
AI is great. It consolidates all this wonderful information. So be honest with it, right in there. The prompt is really the most critical thing. So tell it, I'm looking at a position with XYZ company. This is the position. And as Greg said, put in the job description. Here's my background. What types of interview questions will I get? What else should I ask? What do I need to know? So ChatGPT is one way you can get extensive information. Another way would also be to look at LinkedIn and look to see if you or Foster have any connections with that company.
Now you're
and that way you can get some sideline information from people who work there or used to work there.
But I hate to say this, but ask ChatGPT to look at LinkedIn for you. And it'll happen in an instant as opposed to the amount of time it takes you to do it. Yep.
So I use it, but I don't have the paid version, and I had no idea you could tell to get in a company and find things. I'm like, what?
The only difference between the paid version and the not paid version.
I'd like to know that.
So the paid version.
I actually am not sure. I'm not sure where the line is drawn. I really don't know. But I do know that once I did do the paid version, it seemed to interact with me a little bit better. But maybe that's maybe I'm just guessing. I'm not positive how much more you
that's
get
a good
out of it.
suggestion. We will learn by using the thing.
But the different,
That's
you guys
an
can hear me,
excellent
right?
suggestion.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
the difference between the paid version and the not paid version, you are limited. It's the same version, but you don't get access to the software updates immediately. I think there's like a 10-day or something waiting period, and you have limited questions you can ask.
Okay.
the unpaid version because I ran
So
into that
basic
problem.
questions, probably. You probably
No,
couldn't
no, you
ask
could
it,
ask
could you?
no, you can ask whatever you want, but you only have like let's say 15 questions in like 6 hours versus the paid version,
Oh, okay.
you have unlimited.
Now that explains why, because
Awesome.
sometimes
Thank
at
you.
work I'll be using it and I'll be like, wait, why did it stop working? Now that makes sense. Okay.
I put the verbal through my telephone. I can talk to it and it talks back to me. You drive down the street and you can talk to
Oh
your
my
AI. I know that
gosh.
seems a little lonely, but the truth is it's a wonderful
Yeah, that's
tool.
wonderful.
I mean, this is
Yep.
amazing. Yeah.
See, you see what you guys learned? All you did was get out amongst people,
I
get
just
on Zoom
learned.
here. Well, we're not on Zoom, but we're on Restream. But guys, when you hear other people talking about things and sharing what they've seen, you
Man,
learn.
do you.
Hey, Trevor Heilman, good to see you, man. And Nikki Duncan, I think I mentioned you earlier, but I always like to give a shout out to folks that are
Hey,
chiming in.
Foster, just a
So
note
that is
also.
very
No, go
good.
ahead.
I was just going to say, just a note on ChatGPT. Also, it is a wonderful tool. It will do everything for you and anything. It will rewrite your resume. It'll write your cover letters for you. However, please beware, be cautious, have that human oversight, that human interaction. We were talking about how to
I
make
want to
it.
hear from you. I don't want to hear from ChatGPT.
Exactly.
And I,
That's
guys, y'all
very
know
important.
I'm hiring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it in your own
Yep.
words.
We all know that.
Look at it as a
Yeah.
foundation, as a starting point. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll put together presentations for you. Some of the companies now are asking during the interview process for you to solve one of their problems
Oh,
and
okay.
put together a 15 or 30-minute presentation to present to a panel. And ChatGPT will do that for you. However, don't rely on it 100%. Don't copy and paste whatever the output is. from
Exactly.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Make it your own and own it. There was a story about a recruiter who asked a question to an interviewee about something, a bullet on his or her resume, and the person looked like a deer in headlights, didn't know what they were referencing.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you have to be so careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes, be careful, but don't put yourself in a
No.
hole either. Like if you're in an interview or you're talking to somebody and they say, well, how'd you get that information? Say that you did it with AI.
Yeah.
If people know that you're into AI
Yeah.
on a regular basis, that's not such a bad thing, because those who are experts at AI are the people who are going to be able to be most employable.
It's so
in the future,
true.
in my
Thank you
opinion.
for saying that.
Guys,
Thank you.
Yeah. In 2 years, I'm not going to even say 5 years. In 2 years, people that are going to be interviewing you are going to want to know if you are utilizing AI, what your proficiency is. Ooh, that's a big word for me, Nancy.
Well,
I get
here you
forward
go,
for that
Foster, using them
I know.
words. Just
Hey,
kidding.
my words.
That's actually
My
one of
mom
my
would be proud of
questions
me.
to the company also. How are they using AI?
Now.
Yeah. Hey, Foster, you said 5 years. I'm telling you, it's 5 weeks from now.
Well, you
It's-
know, Greg, you're probably more
Well,
accurate with
in
that. Yeah.
Texas especially, remember, we have a lot of AI server base being built in
Yeah.
Yeah,
Texas.
that
There is
initiative just moved into here
huge,
a month
huge
ago. Yeah.
demand. So if there's look online in LinkedIn, there are certification courses, even if it's a LinkedIn certification course, get
I
proficient
totally
in
agree.
AI, and it's
Yes.
free for most people. You have a 30-day. They still do the 30-day trial, right, for LinkedIn.
Oh,
So
yeah, they do that. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
I did that when I was in between jobs. I did that 30-day trial. It was awesome. Not going to lie.
Absolutely. So get proficient, and everybody's like, yes.
Get proficient. Yeah. I'm gonna use a funny analogy because I'm real simple minded. So y'all, I used to have I bought a real powerful Camaro. And I think I had close to 500 horsepower in that thing. And you know what the guy told me? He says, I know you're excited about the horsepower that you have, but you learn how to drive this thing so you don't kill everybody else.
That's the
Guys,
point.
the same methodology with AI. It's wonderful, but AI cannot read your mind. If you have not put something out on the open web about what it is that you think about something, AI ain't
Yeah.
gonna know. So you guys make sure, and like Nancy is saying, double check what AI is saying, and it will be extremely accurate, just like Greg is saying. But just make sure you're comfortable with what it's saying, and you can answer what it's saying, and it didn't come up with something.
Yeah.
And if you don't like what it says and you're about to say, well, this is junk, this doesn't work, keep talking to it.
Yeah, keep talking to it.
Don't quit on it. Please don't quit on it, because it's going to end up flowing beautifully for you if you use it properly.
I just love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will.
So much. Okay, well, we got to get to Foster. What a good question. I'm telling you.
I come up with them
Every
every
now
once
and
in
then,
a while.
yeah. Pretty impressed. So, yeah, so I would
Lisa's back with us, and we're going over AI and the use of AI and the whole methodology of thinking that's behind AI. Do you have something that you'd like to interject in there with in our conversation?
Well, I know that the paid version, I just recently went to a webinar, the paid version can like go delve deeper. And I know you guys have talked about this, but you can even do a story. Like, let's say you say, I did this at this location. And if you are specific and you say, create a problem action resolution statement for me based on this story, it does minimize it, because I tried it.
Wow.
I tried it because somebody else was having difficulty that I was coaching on how to put it in a par statement. And I didn't know what they were talking about, because they were like a scrum master, and that's over these HR people's heads sometimes. And so I said, give me the story. So I typed the story. And we did it, and it turned out that we just had to get a little bit more creative and say, okay, now base this story on the top 3 things that this company is looking for. And it did that, and it made it into a statement. And we said, okay, make this more concise, but make it more concise, but answer the question of this. And it turned out beautifully, just like Greg said. It was scary beautifully.
Absolutely true. And the other thing you can ask AI to do is ask, okay, after you tell me, this, whatever the subject is, then ask me 5 questions that you want to know the answer to. And AI will ask you 5 questions, and you answer those questions, and AI will take you that much further.
Wow.
And you can even ask, what would a CEO ask about this? What would a hiring manager, what would a recruiter ask about this? Because recruiters aren't going to ask you specifically about, specific like processes and procedures. They just want to make sure, like Greg said, that they're a good fit. But the hiring manager may ask you, well, tell me about your Lean Six Sigma project that you did. And so they delve into a little bit more about the Kanban and the DMAC and all those different acronyms that they can talk to, but maybe not the hiring manager.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to
and take it into your
everyday
life.
Because I'm not big onto ramen.
If you're a fundraising for an organization, I'm sorry, I can't tell if someone's talking. I'm sorry if I'm talking.
There's background somewhere.
There's background somewhere. There's a storm moving in on me, so if you guys can hear lightning, I apologize for that.
Is it me?
Okay. I'm very active. I'm very active in a nonprofit called the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts. And what I did was, and then I was going to meet with a certain fundraiser. And I said, I'm meeting with this fundraiser, and I'm on the board of the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts, and I need to write a quick letter to this person. It goes into the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts. It goes into Foster Williams or whoever it is, and unifies the 2 of them together and says, what you want to talk about that is actually a high point in that donor's life, and all of the high points of the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts. It's incredible how much it marries things together. So I'm sure that does that in your job search as well. All of this about a company, all of this about me, put them together and make the company want me more than they could possibly imagine. And it's going to work for you.
It will work.
Use it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Guys, if you can go into a company and add these things and use these tools to improve what it is that the company is doing, absolutely, I should hire you in there. Prove it to me. Tell me. Be confident when you talk about it. talk about it in a way that I can understand where you're going. I hear music. Oh my goodness. So, guys, I want to thank all of you guys for your time
Yes,
today.
thank
Thank you, Dana.
you.
Thank you, Ned.
Mwah.
Thank everybody that joined us and the folks in Germany and the folks in
India.
India. That's I got that. I
Wow.
almost said in. Thank you
From
guys.
voices
Thank
of
you,
the
Bye,
Miss
West
Al.
and
everyone.
Grandview
Thank
to
you for
Godly,
having us.
this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in